Hi, everyone, and welcome to the panel. We are covering, are you doing social media marketing wrong tonight? Thank you for the introduction, and we're excited to be here. So I'll start with introductions. My name is Christopher Motti from Multimedia Copywriting and Message Marketing Bureau, and we write words that make a big marketing impact. Pastor Kristen.
Thank you, Chris. My name is Kristen Hancock. I'm from Fontaine Swatch Branding and Design Studio, and we create profound brands for our customers that are unique, relevant, and trusted.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ariel Peters. I run Two Giraffes. We're a full-service creative video agency. So we do everything from video podcasts to TVCs to animations and photography.
Finally, I'm Mike Sandys from Oddball Marketing. We're a results-driven marketing, full-service marketing agency.
Fantastic. So without further ado, we're going to go through what you should expect. So we're going to discuss the main pitfalls of social media marketing. We're going to learn about what contributes to social media marketing success, and of course, 8 practical and proven techniques that we use ourselves to get social media
and
results.
For our clients.
Of course, for our clients. And so, okay, so where has this topic come from? So there's a challenge in social media today. And so we're going to set the scene first and foremost.
Yeah.
Years ago, and we hear this from clients as well as ourselves as Caesars marketers, is that the digital marketing space has changed. And so has social media. I've spoken to clients where they said years ago, you posted one post and it would just take off. And now there's a lot of noise and there's a lot of complexities out there. And that's why we're putting this topic on today, because being in marketing and marketing services, we see a lot of this come up. So yes, let's start by setting the scene with
Look,
digital complexity.
I mean, look, I think, Mike, you probably see the stats as well. There's statistics out there that say that about a third of your marketing spend in digital media at the moment is being wasted.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of money going into digital media that people are not getting a return from.
Yep.
So I think there's a lot of pain points out there. We're seeing generally there's a lot of noise. So where it used to be that you could be a unique individual by just being on social media and posting, those days are well and truly gone. Now you've actually got to capture people's attention. You've got to construct it well, and you've really got to show that there's something about your business that will interest people, because everybody watches people scroll. Scroll.
That's a big factor, isn't it, really, when you think about what's going on in terms of social media and how that's evolving. You know, you've got more competition as such when you think about the amount of people on there and the amount of people trying to grab everyone's attention. And so that's a huge challenge now. You've also got people we're sort of all maturing in terms of the way we use social media. And we've kind of gone through that wave of it was all confronting. It was all happening. It was a great thing, you know, early on in terms of excitement around, hey, being able to connect with so many people. But then you sort of feel like that starts to take over your lives. And so now we're getting a bit more discerning, not to mention multiple platforms to sort of work with. And so it's not a case now where you can just say, oh, I just need to be on social media and I should just get on there and do some posts and that's it. No, those days are long gone. It's far more complicated now.
Yeah. And they're saying there's people are seeing almost 5,000 to 10,000 ads a day. A lot of it subliminally, but just through driving, phones, all the different things you're doing, you're actually seeing so many ads. So it's important that if you're going to be putting it up there, you're cutting through the noise.
And social media is still important. So we still want to say that it's very, very important. It's one facet, and it's a very important facet of your digital marketing, but it has to be treated as a different beast today because it is a different environment.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're going to invest time doing it and spend money doing it, you've now got to do it right. You've really got to be invested in it, because if you don't do it right, you're going to be in that third of marketing spend where you just spend a lot of time and energy and you get zero results for it. And then you look at it and you go, well, why am I bothering? And then you switch off. But so it is a really competitive market. And I think you've got to do a lot of actions within your social media to make it work for you. But that's what we're going to talk about today.
That's what we're talking about.
So, you know, it's easy to pick out lots of things that people do wrong, and we'll cover a number of those as we go through it. But we're really here today to talk to you about, well, what are some of the things that you need to get right to make it work?
Ready to
let's do it.
Let's get to people love the house, right? We set the scene, but people love the house.
We have an hour. We've got to get through them all.
So we're going to make this nice and snappy. So the first tip you'll see on the slides there is, do you have a social media marketing plan? Now, I know I do a lot of strategy for my clients, and I'm sure we all do. All four of us do a lot of marketing strategy for our clients. And I think the first pitfall is jumping in and having no idea. Now, it's more than just that. It's more than that. It's more like, oh, we can wing our way. It's also when you don't have a plan, you don't know what's working. You don't know if you're achieving it. So let's throw in, like, how do we start this planning process? What's the importance of having a plan? Why should people have it?
Well, I mean, just in general, I mean, there's a reason that we put so much weight in branding guidelines and tone of voice and whatnot. And for some reason, people seem to think, oh, social media, I'll just post what I feel like here and post this and do that, where really it needs to all speak to the brand, like anything you're putting out to market. So having an actual brand strategy, having a strategy around your social media is so essential, so that it's all one tone of voice and you're creating the message that you want your brand to represent and be seen out in the world.
Yeah, look, I think it's like anything in business.
Yes, exactly.
It is. You wouldn't, you don't get to decide what you're going to do next year without doing a budget. You don't get to go to the board and say, we want to launch a new service or a new product and not give them a 3-year plan on it. Your content strategy now, your social and digital media strategy now, just has to have a plan. It doesn't have to be, deep right down to the nth degree, but you need to have thought, okay, who do I actually want to talk to?
Yep. Audience. Yep. Audience.
What do I want to get out of this?
Yes.
Okay. And then also you've got to study, what are my competition doing? So what's working for them? Who's actually really successful in your market at the moment?
Yeah.
And understand why try and do a little bit of research around why they're successful. What is it that they're talking about? So what's connecting with that audience? So why are people engaged with it? Because normally there's something in their story somebody's connecting with.
Yeah.
And you talked about how all this paid media is going to waste. A lot of times when you don't take the time to research your audience and see where they're living and what platforms they're on, you're paying for all this media that could be not where you're connecting with your audience. And that's why you're not getting anything out of it. So taking the time to actually create that strategy, have an eco structure around it, know that we're releasing this product in a few months. So let's have a buildup of our knowledge around this part of the industry. Or one of our pain points is they don't know that we're really eco-friendly, and we want to start devising that in all the messaging we're doing. That's all stuff that social media can do. But if you have to plan it out like a story. Yeah,
exactly. Because if you, as you just said, there's lots of different messages you might be wanting to get across. But if you don't actually consider how you're going to talk about that, or how you're going to present it from your own brand perspective, you could end up confusing your customer base and your audience that you're trying to talk to. You just get it completely wrong. And then you've just wasted time. So,
and it's like the plan is because, okay, so there's two types of people that are going to be watching this, right? So there's the brands that are already doing social media. We recommend, and I would particularly recommend, is go back and look at your plan, right? When's the last time you had a look at it? Is it aligned with your current business goals? Does it say what is successful and what's not successful? And for the people who haven't done a plan, this is the time to do it, because you're going to get people that go, well, duh, of course, but how many brands actually do it?
Yeah.
How many brands,
or keep up with it?
Yeah.
They might have done it ages ago, but it's just kind of.
And it's not warm and fuzzy. It's not like, oh, they're at the rules. It's like, because the problem is social media is so expansive. There's so many things to hit. There's so many worlds to be in, that if your brand doesn't define what success means, then that's the problem.
So that's a big one too, isn't it? Where you can easily get caught up then talking about the wrong things, going with the wrong messages, because you look at what's going on with everyone else in their social media feeds and their activities, and you kind of get a bit jealous of some of the results that they're getting and the engagement that's going on. And you think, well, how do I get those sorts of numbers? And then it starts to sort of, you go on tangents, you start to deviate away from what you should be doing, because you get caught up in that whole sort of cycle of what's, the vanity metrics and stuff that are going on. And so really having that plan, that guide kind of helps you to kind of go, well, we can push the boundaries on things, but we really have to come back to why we're doing it in the first place and how we want to be engaging with our audience.
Perfect. Okay. So point of the matter, get your marketing plan across your socials.
And just so you can action that, you can Google that and you'll find so many amazing templates on how to set up a social media marketing plan.
But it should basically have goals and objectives in it, should have who's your audience going to be, how frequently you're going to post, what platforms you're going to post,
what does success look like,
look like.
No, it's true, because otherwise you go, what are we doing?
And Did I say what your story is? So
No.
what it is you're going to post? What did I forget? And what's your budget?